You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Well, hello Raider Nation. Welcome to this week's edition of the Red Raider Coaches Show. It's been a couple weeks, but my name is Brent Johnson. I'm along here with head coach Mark Wilson. I want to thank him for joining us today. We're actually speed rushing this one on a Friday morning. Normally we try to do it a little earlier in the week, but it's just been, I tell you what, Coach, it's been a crazy last few weeks.
It really has. There's been a lot of ups and down changes, things with weather, fall break, all that. So
that's right, all kinds of stuff we've had to deal with, and it seems like we haven't been at school but just a few days each week, and that's basically the truth.
That's right.
Again, because of the hurricane that came through, thank goodness here, we didn't threaten us too much. Didn't probably get any rain, just a little bit of wind, but we need to continue our thoughts and prayers with those folks down in South Florida.
They're still going through it. Be for a while.
It's going to be for a while, absolutely. They're not going to be able to enjoy some of the things that we've been able to these last few weeks with some football Fridays and that sort of thing, and the homecoming festivities. We were able to, as we delayed that a week, we got those things over with, and we got to kind of move forward. But yeah, we got another week. This week was a short week because of fall break. We had an off week, our scheduled off week. Coach, what kind of how do you deal with that with the boys' mentality and keep what type of schedule?
Well, we just try. Usually we give them Monday off. We get a little extra day there, and then we came in, on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and full pads and get after it. Try to work on fundamentals, things that we need to work on, and kids worked hard, and I had a real good week of practice.
Following, that's the following playing Johnson County.
Right, that's right, with the open week. Yeah. And then this week came in and had a fall break going on, right. So we brought them in early on Monday morning and practiced and had a real good practice. And
we got some football weather.
We have finally got a little chilly, didn't it?
A little cool. It's
going to feel nice tonight.
It's going to be really nice tonight. And talking about that Johnson game, that's the last game we played. Coach, we knew that team coming in was they were solid. They looked good on film, and obviously their record showed for it. You had talked about the week before. They had a couple of running backs with over 1,000 yards that had returned, and we saw one of them. He really kind of showed out.
He did. We met him up close and personal, but they had a good team. I mean, we knew going in. I thought that was probably the best team we were going to play up to that point, and they got 16, 17 seniors, and they've been working for that and those kind of things. But they had a good team and got after us pretty good.
Well, Coach, how is I noticed we were able to move the ball early in the first quarter specifically, and then we know we got a talent with our running back as well, Richardson kid. Mm-hmm. He had a little injury there. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, the first drive we he had 3 carries and had 34 yards, and then gets hurt. And the East Lawrence game, he out the second half. So in the second quarter, so he twisted his ankle. and guy fell on the back of it,
Yeah.
and
I knew it was awkward.
Yeah,
we could
it
tell
was. It was awkward.
We kind of dragged
That's
him
right.
down, pulled him down, landed on him.
That's right. And so, but he's limped around in the off week a little bit, and he got a little bit of practice in. But this week he's looked a lot better. So hopefully he'll be full speed tonight.
Well, that's good. That's good. Now, and talking about tonight, we'll just run right on into it. We're going to Pelham.
That's
And
right.
That's southwest Georgia. Mitchell County, I believe it is,
Exactly
over
right.
there near Camilla. We've been to Baconton,
Yeah,
played
Baconton
Baconton Charter
right.
years ago, so we've been that far in a regular season matchup, I guess. I've told somebody this morning, I don't think we've been this far to play a regular season game, but we actually did about 10 or 11 years ago. Went all the way over there. But Pelham, a year in and year out, seems like these last 4, 5, 6 years they've put together some pretty
They
good
have,
seasons.
I know 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, they were in the Final Four.
Yeah.
I know they played Marion, who was in our region, Taylor, so I knew them and saw them. They have good. They got great athletes. They, they got a new coach in. He's trying to put in new schemes.
That's right.
And
I was gonna ask
Coach
you.
Guyton, and he was with Coach Pilcher. All those. We played for Coach Pilcher at Thomas County Central when they won all them state championships and things like that. And so now he's coaching and doing the same kind of things that they did at Thomas County Central. So it takes a little time to get it in,
That's
but they
right.
got some real good athletes. They really do.
Well, most importantly, folks, this is where the season truly begins. This is when our region schedule starts. Now, unlike a lot of schools around us that we're familiar with playing in the past, we only have 4 teams in our region, which means we only play 3 region opponents. And there's good and bad and ugly with that. We're guaranteed a playoff spot.
That's right.
But we're playing tonight for let's realistically that 3rd or 4th spot.
Well, that's what I always told them. I've told them this last couple of weeks. You're playing for 3rd place tonight.
That's right.
Next week you're playing for a home game.
That's right.
And the next week you're playing for the region championship.
That's right.
So that's what you got to your mindset. But you got to take that one game first to get to 3rd place first.
And it's a long season. I think I asked you this maybe the first show or second show. Why is it that we play our region games last when everybody's tired? You got kids that might be hurt and all that. I guess I know at the beginning of the season you're trying to get better ultimately, but sometimes that's a double edge as well.
Well, smaller schools, injuries come in. Bigger schools, they can plug another guy in there. But smaller schools a little bit harder. But hey, that's what it's all about. Let's see who can persevere and be getting a little bit better as you're going. That's what you're hoping.
So Pelham, we're going to travel. It's about 2.5 hours on the car, about 3 hours on the bus. How do you prepare mentally for that? I mean, these guys are going to leave school. What time leaving today?
Well, we're going to leave as soon as we can get a bus, about 2:10, and go to Tifton, and about halfway and go over there. We got a place over there at the old high school. They're going to let us use that for walk through and eat over there. So do that, sort of break it up. I think it's about an hour and 20 minutes, 25 minutes over there, and another hour past that. So hopefully we can break it up, and then hopefully show up about 5:30 when we usually do, and just go through our
Normal
pregame routine then. So.
Now, what can we expect out of Pelham's offense today?
They run a split back veer, so it's old timey. You don't see that much. If you watch Remember the Titans, I told our boy that's what they gonna run.
So they say something about it's like Nova King.
Yeah, just give it a little time. And you can watch them on film. They're gonna run the same plays over and over and over again. And you don't do your job, with the option, they'll pop through there. And got a real good athletic quarterback and some hard runners and so we got our hands full.
Well, I know when you talk about that, I hadn't heard the term veer said in about 10 or 11 years.
That's right.
When Bobby Johns came here about 12 years ago,
That's right.
that's what he ran.
Exactly.
And again, if you execute it, you can run it. But you got to be defensively. You got to stay in your gap.
No doubt. That's the biggest thing. You don't see it all the time, so it's you got a week, and luckily we had a little bit extra time to prepare for it. When I first started out coaching, we played Commerce, and they were a big option team, and we played them 10th game of the year, so we were starting in spring practice to go all year.
Yeah.
But so we'll probably see some of that in our spring practice this year since they're going to be in the region. So.
All right. Well, what about defensively? What can we?
Defensively, they play a 4-4 on defense. And you know, they mixed it up a little bit last week against Irwin, so it may be a 5-man front. So we don't know. We've practiced both, so you know, hopefully. But they've got some quicker linemen inside, but bigger defensive ends, and got athletic linebackers, and their secondary is real athletic.
Does a lot of their guys play both ways?
You know, they do. They do. They've got about probably 4 or 5 kids that play predominantly both ways, and then they sort of rotate them and you know, do that. Sometimes I guess when they get down to it, they got 7 or 8 to do. But
now, as far as the Red Raiders tonight, you know, what health-wise, I mentioned that Richardson, you think he's probably going to be able to?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we're going to see. You know, get out there and see how he feels when he gets warmed up. Cold weather sort of hurts a little bit, you know, with injuries. But you know, and we got a few banged up here or there. But we tried to practice physical. We'll play physical and fast, and that's sort of a two-edged sword. You know, you ride a fine line, but hey, I don't think you can play tough unless you practice tough. So,
well, I think that's the truth. You know, you go, if kids aren't prepared for Friday night during the week, you know, it's tough for them to, you know, when they get hit in the mouth, they're not sure exactly how to respond. And
our young guys, give a shout out to our young guys. You know, our freshmen, some of our sophomores, they run the scout teams, and they get a beating sometimes, but they've done a good job this year and of doing that, and that's a big part of getting us ready, you know, for the ball game.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned earlier this game is quite a haul. We would love to see you make that trip. It's about 2.5 hours in a car. A couple different ways you can go. I think Tifton, Moultrie, Pelham is probably the route to take. Maybe get some more 4-lane in there.
That's right.
But we'd love to see you come over. We have been granted permission to go and broadcast live, which we do appreciate that. So you can watch at home. I'll be sending out some information today, the links and the subscription information and all that as well. Whether you do a monthly, if you do a monthly subscription, you know, just for this game, well, guess what? I want to put a plug in for our Lady Raiders, who not only won our region, but they also won the Super Regional this past week as they hosted Metter, Crawford County, and Jefferson County. Lady Raiders went undefeated, and they advanced to Columbus next week, and their first game will be next Wednesday. You could use that month pass to watch the Lady Raiders and their attempt to win a state championship coming out of that Elite 8 in Columbus. So a couple different options there, but we will be broadcasting. I do want to say this, Pelham also broadcasts, but it's a silent broadcast with just their automated Pixelot camera, so you're not going to get any. So if you accidentally click on theirs, all you're going to see is no score. You'll see a score bug, but they don't do scoring, or there's no audio. So look for the one that says produced by Bacon County High School, and that'll be us. Of course, you can always listen for the radio guys, Joe and Heath. They're supposed to be there, so we'll have them plugged in. So you can join us live if you can't make the trip over. I know there'll be lots of parents, and the band's going, so there'll be band parents and cheer and all that stuff. So just remember also that just the safety of travel for all of us, because again, it's going's not going to be so bad. It's coming back. And you're leaving at 10:30, 11 at night, and we're getting back to the school at 2 or 2:30 in the morning. So again, there won't travel mercies there. But Coach, I want to thank you for joining us today. I said it was going to be kind of short and sweet today. He's got a lot going on. Normally we don't do this on a Friday morning. We just had so much yesterday, this whole week. But again, I want to thank all of the sponsors. I'm not going to mention any by name. I want to thank all the Red Raider Touchdown Club, the booster folks that have done so much this year. I will continue to recognize those that sponsor the breakfast, the pregame meal, and then the meal after the games these last couple weeks, and including tonight. So I want to thank all those that are involved. So Coach, on behalf of Coach Wilson and myself, again, we're going to sign off on this edition of the Red Raider Coaches Show.